Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe for the
Ep.8 of the Third Leg Podcast. I'm your host, Riley Warren. Alongside me is my co-host, Dr. James Dunny. How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good. Excited to talk about some sports. Do a quick little recap here, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, right?
Yeah, we're going to do a little recap of the NBA and the MLB, and then we're going to do the Lions full NFL draft today.
Yep, the NBA recap. All right, series. One of them is done. The 76ers are moving on. They sweep. So best value, Nets win as an upset. Totally complete wrong. But you kind of knew it was going to happen, right? The Nets got there because of Kyrie and KD, and they're no longer on the team. So 76ers move on pretty easily, which is good for them because it gives them the most amount of rest for Embiid to get healthy, because I think Doc Rivers came out and said that his MRI didn't look promising. So question mark on whether or not he's going to play next series, potentially probably against the Celtics. So they're going to need him if they plan on moving to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They probably would have liked the Hawks to squeak one out just to force a Game 7 or a Game 6 force a Game 7 basically, and give them another couple days of rest. But that didn't end up happening. The Hawks just lost like 2 or 3 minutes ago. So
Celtics take a 3-1 lead in that one. So there's still time. They could win in Boston, but not likely. Trae Young did everything he could tonight, but just fell short. I think he went off for 35 and 15. Is that what you were saying earlier?
35 points, 15 assists.
That is ridiculous.
That's a ridiculous stat line.
And you still lose. And the Celtics cover the 6-point spread.
I was going to say, they lost by 10. It wasn't even, last-minute type loss. It was a loss in the fourth quarter.
Right. Crazy. Staying in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks are up 3-1. They won today. They took 2 at Madison Square Garden, which is what they're supposed to do. Donovan Mitchell struggled today. What did he finish with?
11
points.
11 points, 4 fouls, 6 turnovers.
Good Lord. He, we talked about before the series started, he had to, be the guy, and he's not doing that for his team. The one game they did win, he did only have 17 points, but I think he had 13 assists. So if you're not scoring, Donovan, you got to be hitting the guys open for nice open shots, but that doesn't look like what's happening. R.J. Barrett has decided he is going to play basketball again. So
playoff RJ, it seems.
Apparently he's different. He's built different. The fourth and final series in the Eastern Conference is the Heat Bucks, and the Heat take a 2-1 lead, which is kind of scary for the Bucks if you're a Bucks fan. Is Giannis healthy? Is Giannis going to be able to play Game 4? It's in Miami. You got to go up against Jimmy. You got to find a way to stop him. What do you think about that game?
It's a must-win game, obviously. The biggest game of the season. I feel bad for Milwaukee because I don't think Giannis is healthy whatsoever, or he would have been playing already. They weren't trying to lose one in Milwaukee, so I feel bad for Milwaukee. I don't think they win this series, to be honest. If Giannis isn't like 100, because I don't see Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton going for another 30 like they won Game 2. I would lean towards Miami if Giannis is going to be on like restricted minutes or play style or whatever it is.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. If you're a Knicks fan right now, you are licking your chops. Like, this is the best case scenario for you.
Giannis is down, Embiid's kind of down. I mean, the East is looking wide open, dude.
Yeah, and can you imagine if the Knicks freaking make it to the NBA championship?
I can't. No, New York itself will literally erupt. They're crazy in the streets after just one game. Like, they are rioting the streets every game.
Stephen A. Smith will be going wild on ESPN. Good Lord, everyone, get your earplugs out.
Hey, I feel happy for the fan base. They've been fucking starving, and they just had good basketball for so long. The old heads from New York have been dying for a team like this. So good for them. I know the homie Coin Snatcher is going nuts. Big Knicks dude.
He is a big Knicks dude. Following him on Twitter and just my timeline is just him.
Straight. Yeah, he's like live commentating on the game. Just being a stressed out playoff watching fan.
Wouldn't know what that feels like over the last 10 years for basketball, at least.
Yeah, I sound like a hater because our team's not in ever.
All right, moving to the Western Conference. Warriors, they squeak out a win earlier today by 1 point. Harrison Barnes had a chance to win it for the Kings and didn't come through. That series is tied 2-2 going back to Sacramento. Interesting today, Draymond comes back from his one-game suspension, comes off the bench. What do you think about that?
I think that Golden State won the previous game, and I'm sure that they just liked the lineup and they were hot, and you let them start again. You bring Draymond off the bench and kind of get his feet wet and comfortable, and he did. He ended up, he scored like 10 points in the first half, 8 points in the first half. So, I mean, you can't hate on the thought going into it. It obviously panned out, and Steve Kerr knows what he's doing.
That he does. I think Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson all scored 20+, and Andrew Wiggins, I think, had 18 or 19. So those four, you're doing well. Looney, he's an animal, grabbing, 14 boards, I think.
Big dog. He's grabbing all the boards.
And Draymond coming off the bench, he's bringing energy. So it's nice to see the Warriors are potentially going to, make this a good series to watch. Not that it hasn't been already. De'Aaron Fox is that guy, right? Like, he's single-handedly keeping the Kings in it and having to guard Steph Curry. So props off to De'Aaron Fox. That man is something else. Yeah,
that's just tax on your body for a 7-game series, running around, chasing Steph. Most teams try to get their third, fourth guard, second or third guard at least, to go run around and chase him, and their primary scorer is never, ever, ever going to be running around with Curry because you need his legs in the fourth. So the fact that he can run around with him and then still be Mr. Fourth Quarter, putting up 30 points a game, fucking always 10 or in the fourth quarter, 8 to 10 points. So, yeah, hats off to him. He's special. He's going to be a talent in Sacramento for, the next 5.
Definitely. Moving on, Suns Clippers 3-1 for the Suns. Kawhi did not play again in Game 4. I don't understand. I want to hear more about what the injury is.
Dude, I heard and seen shit that Kawhi's sister just got like life in prison. So I think that's playing into it. Like, it's more mental and shit.
Right,
or something. I don't know, because it's just weird. That's very coincidental. It comes out the day after. Maybe the news got a hold of it and they're kind of twisting it, but it just seems like that's playing somewhat into it because it's so questionable right now. Nobody's saying like progress or whatever. It's just kind of pushed under the rug at the moment.
Right, and I think it was a 2019 murder is what she finally got charged for, something like that. Which, if that is happening right now, okay, I completely understand why Kawhi's not playing, right? Like, if it was my family, I would be not able to do my job either.
See, that was me going back last episode. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to be caught saying, like, he's a punk, the worst superstar ever, that Skip was saying, or whatever. And some shit like this comes out, and you're just a dickhead, so... I feel better about myself knowing that I didn't say shit about it before. So,
right. Moving on to the next one, Lakers up 2-1 on the Grizzlies. So, LeBron had he's old, can't score 40, no respect until he scores 40. Then he comes out and he doesn't get 40. He doesn't even get 30. So anyone who took his over on the points, they were sadly mistaken. The books cashed in on that.
Huge. They cashed in huge. It was just such a big story that people just couldn't. The public and the square bettors they threw their whole fucking paycheck at it. I know it.
Oh, I mean, I was one of them. I laddered him up to, I think, 40 points.
It's the height, bro.
Right. You think that, okay, LeBron, I should have known, right? Like, his whole career, he's been the level-headed dude who doesn't show emotions. But
yeah, he's not going to go try to get his just because,
right,
or at
he's
least
gonna
get his points. He's just going to go show him how to win the game.
Right. They came out up 25-9, I think is what I looked
Dude,
and saw
that
at my
first
phone.
quarter was disgusting.
So at that point, you knew, okay, probably if he doesn't already have 20, he's probably not going to go for it. Dylan Brooks gets kicked out of the game for like punching him in the junk.
Basically,
like what is going on in the NBA? All these junk punch.
I've never
things.
seen more ejections in the NBA in my life, especially in the playoffs.
Right.
Like, this is the most ejections ever since Rasheed Wallace. Like, what's going on here? Everyone's getting tossed.
Yeah, like, this one was at least looked more flagrant than the James Harden one. But still, it's just crazy. Everyone's getting ejected. Breathe wrong, getting ejected.
My thing is, you're doing crossovers. If you're trying to pickpocket someone or you're trying to steal it, if you miss, there's a good % that you're going to hit them in the stomach or the dick or the leg. So it's just so touchy. Like, if it gets to that, that's what flagrant fouls are for, and you get an extra possession and a free throw. Like, you don't have to kick people out of the fucking game, like, especially so consistently, just for ticky-tacky fouls at the end of the day, let alone ejection fouls.
Right. And it's not like, you see the rear back and throwing a punch or something like that.
Yeah, and this isn't good. This isn't like good for the product. You don't want to kick out players and then have a 6-man, 7-man having to play his minutes. Like, that's not what you want as the NBA and the final product. You don't want to kick players out, especially when they were like highlighted for this game, like Brooks and LeBron, and then you're gonna kick Brooks out. Like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me, and it's not fun to watch. It's so dramatic at the end of the day.
I agree. Did you see the video of LeBron, like, talking to Brooks before the game?
Yeah,
on the
walking
sideline?
up to him, he basically, like, sunned him.
What do you think he was saying?
I seen someone post it. He basically said he was, like, doing a lot of talking and not doing anything. You need to focus on, like, hitting your shots and playing the game right or some shit.
Oh, okay. All right. There's a script out there, I guess, of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to look at that.
Nothing crazy. He basically just, like, low-key is just, like, saying, like, you're just talking, like, all this shit, like, you don't even know what's going on. Like,
right.
You're just, like, this little dude talking. Like, you have no idea what's really going on.
I saw, it was either ESPN or maybe someone made it to look like ESPN. They had Dylan Brooks' stats up and then put LeBron's stats up. I was like, why do they even need to do that?
That's just the troll. That's like the Doris Burke troll.
Yep, absolutely.
He's obviously not athletic, and he doesn't shoot the ball well. Like, Jesus Christ, Doris.
He's
got a family.
Nail in the coffin. He's got a family. He made it to the NBA, so obviously he can do something right.
For sure.
In the last series for the NBA, that goes on tonight, the Nuggets versus the T-Wolves. Nuggets are up 3-0. It's in Minnesota, potential sweep. I think, personally, it'll be over tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, bring in the brooms. I think it's over. Another sweep. Pretty boring series at the end of the day. A couple blowouts. A couple big stat lines. Edwards had like 41 game, but still lost. It's at the end of the day, Minnesota is poverty. They're going to suck for the next 10 years. They have no picks, and their cap is maxed. So it'll be fun to see who gets fired this year. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I've moved on to Minnesota. Let's see who's gone. Let's see what players they put on the chopping block and see what the team's looking like next year. Bring in the brooms.
Absolutely, I agree. It's crazy that, like, the Sixers and potentially the Nuggets will be done with their series tonight, and, like, the Heat, Bucks, and Lakers, Grizzlies, they're at Game 4, like, starting Game 4.
They'll be finishing next week.
Right. Just, the
this
76ers,
weekend,
Yeah. 76ers and Nuggets are going to be sitting good. They'll be rested, that's for sure. No excuse.
No excuse for them. Well, it's good. This happens every year. There's always going to be a few teams that get a few extra days of rest, so it doesn't always pan out for those teams.
Definitely. I watched a little video of because the Clippers and Lakers obviously use what was once called the Staples Center for their home court. It getting changed in one day is just absolutely crazy how many people work on it, and then how it seems so simplistic for them to do a basketball court change.
For sure. When you speed it up that fast, everything looks simple. There's a lot of hard work, sweat, and blood going into that shit. I seen some of the funnier comments from that were JV to varsity, like setting up the JV to varsity, stuff like that. The little brother, the little brother of that arena. That's tough. You don't have a banner in there.
Yeah, the Clippers definitely need to get out and get their own. That's for sure.
Yeah, you see in the comments though, like the Clippers are saying like the Lakers are in our house. They need to get out and shit like that. You're like you're trolling. You are actually trolling. You're smoking.
Absolutely. All right, I think that's it for the NBA, though. As far as MLB, the things I wanted to touch on, if you watched Episode 7, you got it when it came out. And if you listened to me, you trusted in me, you tailed, you hit big yesterday for Fernando Tatis Jr. Not only did he go deep in the game, he went deep in his first at-bat. So he hit his first home run of the season in his first at-bat. I said you could clip it. The clip is up on YouTube. It's up on TikTok. Man, not only did I hit for his anytime home run, I did sprinkle his first at-bat home run as well.
I seen you have that, you dirty, dirty dog. Hey, you believed in it, though. You put that like 4 different ways, dude. Big congrats to you. That was a hell of a fucking call. When you texted me and said he hit a home run first at bat, I'm like, no shot, dude. Dunny's a magician.
Yep. So that was good to see. I didn't actually watch it live. I pulled it up on ESPN and I was like, oh, Padres scored one. It's still the first inning. Come on, baby. Let's go look. And then there it was. I was so happy.
Tatis.
He's the man. Look for him to get going.
That's elite. That's big for them. I mean, they already have a star-studded lineup. If he gets going, they're gonna be nasty. One of the tough teams, that's for sure, as far as getting outs. Other news: the Pirates are on a 7-game winning streak. They're first in the NL Central. Crazy. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been poverty for so long, and they're finally looking good. It doesn't look like a fluke. They actually have beat some decent teams. They've scored a lot of runs. It's just what you hope the Tigers look like in a year or two, is what the Pirates look like right now. So everyone hold your breath. Hopefully the Tigers can develop like they have. And, I mean, hats off to the Pirates. Yeah, hopefully it's not just a little streak at the beginning of the season and they turn out to be dog poo-poo anyways. Because that happens a lot, and it hurts the fan base because that's a lot of false hope going into a very, very, very long season. Definitely. And speaking of very long seasons, the Oakland Athletics are one of those teams that are going to feel that very, very long season. I think they've only won 4 games, so 4-18, 4-17, something like that. And then we had just talked about it. Their run differential so far is they're already 100 runs in the hole. So that is not just disgusting. Yep. At least they get to look forward to moving to Vegas. Oh, they're the team that's going to Vegas? Yep. They'll be going to Vegas. Though Nevada hasn't signed off on it, I think. Either Nevada or California. Oakland just got literally swiped of all their teams, or what? Yeah, so the Athletics went to the city of Oakland and said, hey, the Coliseum is falling apart. We need renovations or we need a new stadium built. And they told them no. I said, hell no, we're just going to keep it for USC. Yep. And then they said, adios. That's fucked up, honestly. Mm-hmm. This has been a couple years in the making. Well, you just got to feel bad for their fans. Right. I mean, they lost the Raiders, the A's. It's sad to see. Golden State even moved a little further away. They don't have a basketball team. Right. Unlucky. That's tough for them and their city because that's a lot of tax dollars and revenue going straight through that city.
Right, and then like other than USC, what's the sports team? What can you do in Oakland, right? Like,
right. You can go outside. It's always fucking nice.
Yeah, that's true. Nice weather. That is true. As far as what to look forward to tomorrow, I like Ronald Acuna tomorrow against Edward Cabrera and Spencer Strider against the Marlins. I don't know if I'll call anything. Strider's been 9 strikeouts every start this year, so if you see a strikeout line underneath that, look for him to go over.
4 straight games Strider has 9 strikeouts. He is dicing them up. He's your watering hole to begin the year.
Right. The man throws gas. It's fun to watch. So look for his line tomorrow when it finally comes out. The books don't have anything out yet, of course. They're scared. But, yeah, that's as
you
far as...
You got Strider dice them up, and then you have Acuna's what?
Hitter fantasy score. So
okay.
You could... I don't think... I was tempted to say home run again, but I don't want to waste the streak on that. I think as far as fantasy score, he'll go over again. I think he's gone over in 4 straight games. 9.5 is what they have it at already. If you don't have fantasy score, you can look at hits, runs, RBIs. You could sprinkle stolen base. The man is stealing like 1 every other game. And I think he's on a couple game streak of having a stolen base. If he gets on, he's going. So he's fun to watch.
I was curious because what's their run line at? Because if you got Strider dicing them up and you got Acuna swinging the stick, you probably got them winning the game.
Right. They should definitely win the game, right? Let's see here. What are the odds for it right now? They're minus 120 on the 1.5 run line. So
yeah, the books are cooking.
Right. If you're going to look for that, you potentially look at like same game parlay for them to win the first 5 innings and full game. And then Ronald Acuna to have a hit or something like that. Or even Matt Olson to have a hit tomorrow because he's a lefty going against Edward Cabrera, who's a righty, and Edward Cabrera struggles against lefties. So that's what I would look at.
Nice, I like it. Sprinkle the Braves. And then
yes, sir.
Every hitter on the Braves. All right, that's going to do it for the wrap-up session. Let's get into the Lions mock draft 2023. If you want to create one of these on your own, go to profootballnetwork.com, and you can select any team or every team. You can select specific conferences, and you can select the number of rounds that you're going to go through. Today, we're going to do all 7 rounds of the Detroit Lions, and on the next podcast, we're going to do the first round of every team. So if you want to check it out, go to profootballnetwork.com, make your own, let us know what you think. Let's get this started, though. 7 rounds, normal, Lions only.
We limited ourselves to what? 1 draft? Or one draft, good Lord, 1 trade?
Yeah, we're going to try to not trade unless it's very beneficial for us. And typically it'll be later, but we'll see. So off the rip, you get 2 trade offers, one from the Jags, pick 24 for pick 6, along with Edge Jay Allen, and a 2024 second round. We're just going to blow by these. Pick 6 for pick 12 and an offensive tackle. Who knows? We're just going to reject it. We got 6. So the Panthers took Bryce Young. Houston took C.J. Stroud. The Cardinals took Tyree Wilson. The Colts have Anthony Richardson. And Seattle took Jalen Carter. We're up at 6. Number 1 edge on the board is Will Anderson. I don't think we have to talk too much about this one because I honestly think if Will Anderson or Jalen Carter are there, those are going to be our picks just because they're coming in at like generational defensive talent. So I don't think we pass on them or trade and let somebody else get up there and snack him. So we're just going to start this off real easy and just pick Will Anderson and move on.
Perfect. Anyone watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching, I've been celebrating because this is what I was hoping for when we started this. So, Will Anderson for our first pick. I can not love that anymore.
All right, we're just going to blow by these next trades. They really want to get rid of Howard for us. The Saints pick, that's going to be a no. All right, we're up at 18. So it went Christopher Gonzalez, Paris Johnson, Peter Skronsky, Will Levis, Nolan Smith, B. Jones, Darnell Wright, JSN, Lucas Van Ness, Deontay Banks, Jordan Addison, and us. So on our picks, we have defensive line, offensive line, tight end, wide receiver, linebacker, and edge, and corner. Those are like our tier list. Corner is probably up into like 4 or 5 now since we let go of Akuda. So they're probably not as far down as I said. They'll probably be up at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the board that we have in front of us right here, I couldn't be happier again because the corner that I like the most out of this draft is still there. So I
Talking about Witherspoon?
I am a big Witherspoon believer. I liked watching him at Illinois. But, I mean, what are the other people there? We have Bijan. I don't think we take him in the first round.
We don't need a back. We're not going to take a running back first round. I can almost promise you that, especially with, picking up Montgomery. So no running back, no quarterback, no tight end first round.
I don't think we take another first-round wide receiver. The first available would be Quentin Johnson right now. Drama with him not even coming to the draft or not getting invited. Edges, Clemson, Miles Murphy, and is it Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. 2 decent football players, right? Obviously, big names from big schools. I think Devin Witherspoon is going to end up being the guy eventually. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Devin Witherspoon is what we're going to go with. The only other cornerback taken before him was Christian Gonzalez, and he went to the Raiders. So I will take Devin Witherspoon. I think cornerback is, like I said, top 5 on the list.
Do you like him more than Joey Porter Jr.?
Yeah, I do. I like his length. I like him around the ball or when the ball's in the air. I think he's, more of a ball hawk.
Physical,
I don't think you go wrong
man.
either, but if Witherspoon's on the board, we take him. So
I agree. All right,
cool.
Perfect. So far, I couldn't be happier with this mock draft. And this is not scripted. They run their own simulations on everything. So,
and if you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, check us out on YouTube, and you can see this live draft as we're going down. Getting into the second round here.
Zach Charbonnet.
48. Charbonnet to the Cardinals. We're coming up here at 48. Green Bay takes Marvin Mims. That's interesting. Going to reject the trades. This one's to Green Bay, pick 48, and a 2024 7th for pick 78 and a Green Bay 2nd.
I don't like it.
Reject. All right, so I wanted D-line, O-line, linebacker within the first 2 rounds. So I think offensive line or linebacker. This is really hard because look who's still available at 36.
Who do you like?
Jahmyr Gibbs. He's on the board at 48. That will be super hard to turn down. Although, like I said, we don't need a running back, no running backs.
Right.
I think this is one of those opportunities where someone will trade up and we might try to work some picks out of someone because someone has Jahmyr very high on their board. So that's when you kind of go shopping real quick before your picks up and see what you can get. But
agreed. Can we scroll back up and see who did end up taking Bijan?
Took Bijan. Yeah. All right. So Bijan went to Dallas like expected at 26. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago, and that's very Dallas-esque of them to take the flashiest, running back and let him work. And then the whole Zeke shit this year, it was foreseeable.
Right, absolutely. Interesting there, the Eagles did trade back up into the first round ahead too, I think. So that's crazy. or might have had 3 first-round picks. But anyways, out of these people that are on the list there,
we got a top tight end at Darnell Washington out of Georgia. That's our top tight end. Top defensive tackle is out of Michigan, Mozzie Smith. And edge is Georgia Tech's Keon White.
Okay. We do have pick 55 here in just a second, right? So
Yep, 7 picks away. 7 picks out, so.
Let's see here.
And then the top wide receiver on the board right now is Josh Downs out of North Carolina.
Do we have top linebacker? Who's the next linebacker even available? I don't know.
I can look right here.
Yeah.
Top linebacker available is Noah Sewell out of Oregon.
Yeah, I like him at the next pick for sure.
All right. I say we go edge here.
Yeah.
Keon White or Felix Uzoma from K-State.
Let's take the K-State guy. I like him.
All right, we'll go with Felix from K-State.
Say his first name because who knows how to say that last name.
Yeah, double last name.
Oh, and Hendon Hooker goes right after us. Pittsburgh taking Hendon Hooker, huh? Damn.
Pittsburgh taking Hendon Hooker.
From Tennessee, the quarterback.
Yeah. I took him in one of my other mock drafts. He was at this pick still for us. Chicago takes Josh Downs out of North Carolina. That's that's something. Steelers taking Hendon Hooker.
Right, when they think like they have their dude.
Yeah. Can't ever be too sure with quarterbacks in this league though.
That's true. That is true. I personally would love to pick up Noah Sewell in the second round or third round if he's still available. I really think, keeping the Sewell brothers happy would be very, very good for the Lions as a whole. But I don't think we can go wrong if we went tight end here and did take what's his name out of Georgia? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah. If we did take Darnell Washington here, I wouldn't be completely upset. What are you thinking? What position?
I think we wait on a tight end. I still see a decent group of tight ends left. A lot of tight ends left. Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State. Tucker Kraft out of SDSU. An Iowa tight end. I don't even have to say his name. He's from Iowa and he's a tight end. You know what he'll do.
Yep.
I think we go with linebacker. We keep the Sewell family in Detroit.
Love it. Interesting to see that Jahmyr Gibbs was still available.
Yeah, that was really hard for a war room to turn him down when he's on your board.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up going to the Broncos, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Interesting, that would fit perfectly with Sean Payton's play style, right?
All right, we're in at 81 here. We have edge, linebacker, safety, or corner, sorry. All right,
can you
click what?
All.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
You're good.
Defensive tackle, tight end, running back, safety. So safety is just completely out of the question. Cornerbacks were good. I think we go after our tight end / offensive lineman.
Yeah, I wouldn't. With Blake Freeland being there, I think he was the 6th ranked tackle. I wouldn't be upset with that pick. Interior lineman, though.
We got Blake Freeland.
Yeah.
From BYU.
He was the 6th ranked offensive tackle as far as Mel Kiper's big board, or his top 10 at each position. Which, obviously, if we want to reassure the offensive line, we have, I think, the best offensive line in the NFL right now. But you can never have too many, right?
Well, you get one injury per year. 100%,
That's true.
Especially on the offensive line.
Very true. But yeah, I'm down with going tight end and pick 81. That's fine with me.
Tight end, pick 81.
If that's what you're thinking.
I'm down. What do you think about Cameron Latou from Bama?
Alabama. I mean, if we're...
He's more of a, like, you can put him out on the flank, athletic, tight end, taller guy.
Okay. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with taking him. Obviously, I would pull Schoonmaker, but he'd probably be available in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, I think Schoonmaker would be available late. If he's the guy you want through your initial processing and betting, then you're going to wait another rounder to get him.
No,
but we're just going to pretend that the Lions really like Latou, and we're going to run with them.
Can you go wrong with taking a Nick Saban trained player, right?
Well, Henry Ruggs.
Shut up. Trent Richardson.
Did
you hear the rumors about good old D. Henry going to the Eagles?
No.
King Henry going to the Eagles.
Oh my God!
That's
what are they giving away for that?
It was like a second, fourth, and something else. Like nothing crazy.
That's still pretty good. The guy gets tackled 1,000 times for the last 10 years.
Right, but apparently A.J. Brown and him have the same agent, and that's who leaked it. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
That would be dangerous. Read option at the goal line, Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts. Touchdown every time.
All right, there's a big gap if you're wondering why we're not picking from our 81st pick to our next pick, which is at 152. Like we said, we didn't want to do trades because it gets kind of freaky, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to have another pick or two from this 81 to 152 in the actual draft, just to kind of bolster some picks. If someone wants to trade up, we might snag something later, but we'll see.
The good old Cardinals offering 2 picks in the upcoming rounds for this pick and DeAndre Swift. Wow. Crazy.
That is wild. We're at 152 here.
Yep.
152. So I have it maybe this is offensive line, wide receiver territory. We have 4 picks from 152, 159, then 183, 194. So I think 1 wide receiver, 1 offensive line, and then maybe best on the board.
I agree. Just trying to look at where's he? Coming soon. Too late in the draft.
They don't care about the offensive lineman.
Hell no. Look at the guards real quick
still there.
for me. USC, yeah. NC State, Ole Miss.
Yeah, Dylan Voorhees up here. 156.
Oh, I mean, Chandler Zavala. He's Mel Kiper's 4th-ranked guard.
Bingo bango. Chandler, welcome to the Detroit Lions. Get your shit together and get to the locker room.
Right now.
All right, we're back up with 159. This is wide receiver territory for me. Maybe this one or the next one, not the last. I picked him in my other one. I picked Charles Jones from Purdue.
I like it.
I really liked him on the board. I don't know if he'll be there in another 23 picks. So we're going to go Charlie Jones as our wide receiver. Underneath, we got some guys to go over the top and got some speed. If he can run some routes on the inside, a little Wes Welker-esque,
right.
Just be the catch guy, I think that'll be really good for us.
Good route runner who's not afraid to go across the middle and catch hard balls. So
Schoonmaker to Green Bay.
Okay. All right. Jordan Love, you got yourself a
5th
Michigan
round.
tight end.
Yeah, I think Green Bay, I've seen 2 receivers and a tight end already.
Damn.
They waited for Aaron Rodgers to leave to do this.
Damn.
All right, we're back up 183. 183.
Let's see here. Hey, can you click all for me?
Yes, sir. Linebacker?
I would not be opposed with linebacker. D-tackle from Auburn, that Colby Wooden kid is the 9th ranked defensive tackle for Mel Kiper. Let's see here. Jalen.
All right, well, we got 194. We're going to run Colby Wooden, defensive tackle, out of Auburn, as our 190 or 183, and see if we can pick up Jalen Graham out of Purdue for our 194.
Like it.
Don't take him, pussies.
Damn it.
He's gone.
Patriots, you bastards.
Yeah, they do their scouting pretty well. If he was an undersized white dude, they snatched him. All
I
right,
like Deuce Vaughn,
last pick
personally.
in the draft. Deuce Vaughn, do you take him? I did take him in one of my other ones. I told you in episode 1 or 2 that next year's running back situation will be very weird because Swift will have to get paid and Montgomery will be off his 1 year. So if we don't bring someone in, we'll have to sign one of those guys for the next 2 or 3 years. So
Absolutely.
we'll see.
Can you hit all for me real quick? All right. Jay Ward. No, don't know.
Just got to think this pick is the one. I mean, there's only a few picks left, so most of these guys you'll be able to search for and try to bring in as unrestricted, undrafted, come get workouts and go to summer camp. So you basically just want to pick your one guy that you think one of these next 5 teams are going to take.
Right. Did Jake Moody already go off the board?
Let's see. Yeah, he's been gone.
Nope, he's there.
Oh, no, he is there. He's down there. You want to take Jake Moody as your last one? He'll be there. I can't do that. That'll be too much of a homer for me. We could get him and bring him into spring ball. We don't have to waste a pick on him.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I would lean Deuce Vaughn. Just looking at what he did in the playoffs against us and what he did in the Big 12 championship, he looks like someone who's kind of that, third down back, can catch balls out of the backfield, potentially turn into an all-down back as he gets stronger, gets faster in the NFL with more training. From Kansas State, I like Deuce. What do you think?
I like Deuce too. I think someone else would take him in the next 50 picks. Someone I would, Aiden O'Connell. I wouldn't take him in the draft, but I would, if he's still available, bring him in and see what he can do in like minicamp and shit like that because he's a gunslinger. And
No, I
it
think
would just
that
be
might
nice to be like a project quarterback just because he's there and we can at least let him, let Booby get a spin.
Right. If you're looking for guys that are similar to what we already have, right? Like Jared Goff, if you compare the two, how do you go wrong with that? Like, all right, sit behind Jared Goff for however many more years he's here, and then get ready for your time to shine whenever the bell rings, right?
For sure. I think he's one of the only quarterbacks that I would dabble with, even thinking about a pick.
I'm perfectly
left.
fine with taking Aiden. We take him and the Purdue receiver, so we combine them together. A little 1-2 punch.
See, I want to. I just don't want to be done with it, and he just doesn't get drafted. And it's like, of course, he wasn't going to get drafted. But we're gonna run with. We're going to go with Deuce.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll stash him. See if one of our 2 running backs get hurt or some shit.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have to do anything. He's super late round, barely any guaranteed. The only problem I have is he did get hurt at the end of the year.
Okay. If you're looking for value, Juice Scruggs right there from Penn State is the 5th ranked center on Mel Kiper's big board. So
All right, big dog. Welcome to Detroit.
There you go. I don't think we can go wrong with that either.
No. All right, it's just running through these last 30, 40 picks, and it'll tell us what we did.
Aiden
Show
went
us our
to the
picks
Raiders.
and stuff. He did?
Yep.
See? It's one of them project quarterbacks. We have no 7th-round picks. Deuce Vaughn, what?
Oh, he went to the Bears.
He went to the Bears. They take another short, fast running back. What do you know?
Right. That move he made in the open field in the Big 12 championship game, crazy.
Green Bay takes another receiver and a tight end. Dude, this mock draft simulator is just farming offensive players for Green Bay.
And another running
Jesus.
back for Green Bay.
Yeah, they didn't take one defensive player. Here we go, 256. What's Green Bay? How many picks do they have this year? Another tight end? Dude, they're not taking anything other. Like, they're just trolling. All right, there it is. Our PFN mock draft. Number 6, Will Anderson. Number 18, Devon Witherspoon. 48, Felix Uzoma. 55, Noah Sewell. 81, Cameron Latou. 152, Chandler Zavala. And 159, Charlie Jones.
Scroll down a little bit. I think we got one or two.
It won't let me. That's all we got.
Damn it. All right. I know we took Juice Scruggs as well from Penn State Center.
Oh, here we go. My bad.
You're good.
All right, then we had 183 Colby Wooden and 193 Juice Scruggs.
There we go. It's crazy to do these mock drafts now compared to the last 20 years as being a Lions fan, where we're filling one or two needs and then drafting potential for the future, rather than having a whole team of needs with a couple of spots that are locked in.
For sure. Typically, we need you to get drafted and play tomorrow.
Right.
You got to do something. We're not worried about the future too much because we have sucked our whole the last 10 years.
Right. But with this draft that we just did, Will Anderson definitely going to play from, snap one, kind of like what Aiden did last year. Devon, he might play snap one. But after that, if you show out in camp, okay, maybe. But other than that, you're going to be, special teams, learning what you got to do. Maybe by the middle of the season, you start a little bit. But it's definitely different being a Lions fan now.
For sure. This was a little tough doing, on the fly.
Right.
What would you grade us?
I personally love our first 4 picks. After that, you obviously kind of run into the have you ever heard of this guy before? Have you not ever heard of this guy before?
Yeah, absolutely.
But just based on our first 4 picks, I would say, no lower than a B+.
All right, well, we'll take a B on that. A B flat. We'll take 85% on that draft. That was our first one doing together, and it's on the fly, not thinking about it, not researching type on the fly stuff. So we'll take a B. That's a clean 85% for me.
All right. I can dig it.
Is there anyone that you wish we could have got? Do you think, in 48, 55, even 81, there was a player offensively or defensively that you wish we could have got?
Personally, no. Like I kind of said earlier, the 6 and 18, if that's how I pray to God that it goes for us in the first round this year.
If those 2 picks go through and are like that, then you are...
I'm happy.
Yeah, you're at ease the rest of the draft. Just let them rip at that point. I like that.
Yep. What about you? Are you looking for anyone in particular that you wish we could have got?
No, not in particular. Like you said, the first 2 picks are the biggest per usual, and I think we drafted a little bit defensive heavy. I think there might be a switch up here at 81, and we take a tight end at 48 or 55 or some shit. Or something like that. Maybe we don't take Charlie and we go after someone a little more touted at 152. But overall, I think B's pretty good. It was gonna be a defensive heavy draft, like just going into it, but I think we probably could have squeaked another offensive player in there.
Agreed. When we aired defense and offensive line, which as a Lions fan, I can't be mad at because we haven't drafted like that in ever, right?
Right. Yeah. Stereotypical wide receiver.
And with the suspensions that we kind of talked about last time, they might be more aggressive as far as trying to get a bigger name wide receiver in the draft. But I think if this is how the draft turns out, worst case scenario, I'm elated come next Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be mad, especially the first two picks. Like you said, if you get those first two picks out of the way and they go as well as they did, then the rest of the draft is just whatever.
I agree. Now it'll be interesting to see how when we are doing every team NFL draft, or at least for the first round, who the Lions end up taking.
Yeah, it'll be a little different when we're in the minds, or we're pretending to be other organizations and not one we root for, right? Because I don't think we gotta be truthful about it. We can't try to take someone here so then we can pick someone for the Lions here. We gotta actually think. It's going to go super quarterback heavy in the first five. And if it is like it was in our mock draft, then one of the two guys we were talking about will be there on our first pick. So I think either way, either way, we will get a good defensive player at 6.
And if it happens in the real life that it isn't quarterback heavy and those two are gone before 6, I pray to God we trade out. I hope that we get someone to come up and take a quarterback at 6. Like, in real life, if it doesn't go quarterback heavy in the very beginning and those two defensive players that we talked about, Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, are gone, I hope we trade out. We talk to other teams and say, hey, move up, get your guy, and then we pick up a pick for next year or a couple picks for this year, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I would also be on the same boat with you. Like I said, we have from pick 81 to 152, nothing in between. So I think there's a lot of good value in players that we could get in those round or in that slot that we could maybe let go of our 6 or our 18, depending on our guys and our board. That would be best case scenario if our top defensive guy's not there, especially we're talking interior wise, defensive end or often or defensive lineman in general. If he's not there, we got to kind of secure more guys in the draft in those rounds. And yeah,
I agree. But regardless of what happens, we have 5 picks in the first 81, and we were the first team out of the playoffs last year. The juice is being drank. Sign me up for some more Kool-Aid. Detroit Degenerates. Let's go.
Detroit Degens, baby. Bring it on out. I don't give a fuck that we have players suspended and there's a little overcast over the lines right now. I still think we come out hot, so log it.
I agree. Keep my I think you went 12 and you said 12-6, right?
12-5.
12-5. I'm 11-6. I think both are good predictions.
That was pre-OBJ Baltimore, I would like to say.
That is true.
But yeah.
That is true.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. This was the Detroit Lions 23 mock draft. On the next episode, we will be doing the first round of the entire 23 NFL draft. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be recording that and posting that hopefully by Tuesday night. We'll be recording it Tuesday, and it'll be up pre-draft. So check it out. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for episode number 8 of the Third Leg podcast. And until next time, we'll be seeing.
Adios. Look for, as far as the draft goes, also we might try and do a little live thing. So if you're interested in hopping in and talking with us about what's going on for the first round, let us know. We'll try and set something up.
100%.
All right.
All right, boys.
Peace.
Appreciate you. Peace.
Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe for the